What's up, Pork? I appreciate you, man. Even if you can't stay. Have a good one, buddy. Enjoy the rest of your day, man.
I am overburdened.
Devani, what's up, man? What's going on with you?
I am overburdened.
Oh, I know. My sister tells me about it. I mean, I hear all the latest. I'm just a creature of habit. I probably should at some point, maybe. Next time I see my doctor, maybe inquire a little more, but it's just one of them things, man.
I can't carry anymore.
So what's your initial thoughts? How you feeling about it? See, like my sister It was weird. Like we both became diabetic like later in life, like type 1. Like I was 19, she was, I want to say mid 20s. But she like immediately went on like the earliest versions of the pump, so she's always had one. So she's never had like the dynamic of moving from one system to another. Always my hesitancy's been like having to have something like always attached type of thing. Always kind of struck me as a little. I didn't know if I wanted to do that or not. Do you feel you notice the fact that it's always attached? Alright, we might as well repair.
Good day.
I know it's probably better overall regulation for sure. Like managing your sugar is probably way better. You have more information. Speaking of which, I hope Fuzzy's been okay. I hadn't seen him in a little bit. Yeah. I don't know. It always struck me as just being constantly attached is a little. Did do you tend to notice it? Or is it kind of one of them things you just get used to it and then it just becomes, you just don't notice it at all anymore?
I am overburdened. I am overburdened. I am overburdened.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. The things we have to live with, man.
I can't carry anymore. can't carry anymore.
No, yeah, for sure. More information you have, the better things are for sure. About to level. What am I, 89? Yeah. About to hit 90. I still haven't found a high rune yet either. It's kind of crazy. I usually pulled at least one by now. You know, what kind of struck me as actually kind of crazy when I started this channel is how many people actually are type 1, type 1 diabetes. It's actually kind of wild, man. Because there was quite a few when I originally said that, when I had said on stream that I was type 1, there was so many other people. Now, type 2 I always considered to be, like, pretty common. Like, way more common, right? Like, you could eat your way into type 2 diabetes. But type 1 is more genetic based. And the number of people that told me that they were type 1 is crazy. I would have never thought there was that many more, like, out of a group of even 20 or 30 people that would be on stream. It's like 10%. That's wild. Yeah, I never really looked into the history of that. I don't know when they started coming up with, like, I think the insulin now is synthetic, but back in the day it was like, it was like created through, like, the pig's pancreas or something, wasn't it? I never really dug into the history of the medicine behind it. Because I think the original insulin injections, they weren't synthetic. I think they were like created somehow through like using pig pancreas or something. What's up, Liam? Kind of a weird conversation to come into the middle of. But yeah, I mean, what? Maybe I don't know how long it's been going. Like maybe even 100 years ago, you and I we would just not be around. We would have just died. Well, point being, it was like from animals, right? I mean, that was kind of the general sense that I remember. But I don't remember when they actually discovered that and it became a thing to even, you know, get insulin from other animals. Like I feel like 100 years ago, we would have just, it would have been terminal and we'd have just been done. Crazy to think about. Because, you know, my wife and I would get into these weird conversations about, like, like zombie apocalypse. And, you know, I could probably survive, technically, just like, you know, I know enough about survival to be able to live. But, like, I'd just run out of insulin and then I'm done. Like when when we were watching, when we were into The Walking Dead, that was like the conversation, right? Like she's technically a country girl, but she wouldn't make she wouldn't make it long out in the woods. Probably longer than a lot of people, but overall, it would be rough for her. But I'd be the opposite, except for the fact that I dependent since I'm dependent on insulin, you know, once that's out, I'm done. Kind of crazy, man. Kind of crazy. Now I need to look it up. I gotta look real quick. When did they start injecting insulin? 1922. So I was right. 100 years. I was almost dead on 100 years ago. Now, it'll only take you so far, right? You can extend it, like, but eventually, you know, it just will build up to the point where you wouldn't be able to, like, survive. Yeah, Liam, exactly. Yeah, dude, that was actually the conversation with my wife. We would have to be, like, constantly looking for pharmacies. And insulin, you know, you're supposed to keep it refrigerated. It does have, it can maintain room temperature for a pretty good while, but eventually it'll go bad. Like my insulin pen, I just keep on my desk. You know, It's supposed to be refrigerated, but I use about a 1 pen a week, so and it's fine not being refrigerated. But like just for storage at the pharmacy, they keep them in the refrigerator, and I keep like my boxes in the refrigerator. But yeah, the sugar would just build up so much. Like I'd be like a dessert for the zombies. I'd be sweet tasting. So something like that, Navani. You know, obviously, you go through pens so quickly that nothing's in the house for 3 months. Like I get boxes of 5, and like my a box of my Lantis, which is the once a day time release, is a box of that lasts about 3 months. But the other ones, you know, every meal. So texting me. Gotta respond. My son's setting up the playtime tomorrow for some golf. Locked in, boys. We're gonna hit some golf balls tomorrow. Merc, stop being stupid.
I am overburdened. I can't carry anymore.
Liam, did you see the patch notes or the dev talk yesterday for the PoE 2 reset?
I am overburdened. I can't carry anymore.
Dude, it's so good. It's something else, man. GGG just keeps gaining more and more of my respect when it comes to just gaming, dude. There's so much going to be in this update. Ethereal? Nope. I don't remember if that was one of the things they addressed or not. They did change it to where the waystones or the mapping, depending on how many modifiers are on the map, you can go back in if you died. So it's not a one and done on the maps anymore. They've completely changed that. But yeah, it's crazy the I don't know how many people are actually complaining about the gated drops though. I mean, there might be a few. But I mean, wouldn't that flesh out though if you know, if they keep adding more and more skills and support gems and stuff? You could potentially take those builds and make them even more viable regardless of the drops. They're adding like 100 new support gems, which is crazy. Yeah, no, yeah, that's true. I don't know how you necessarily get around that. I still think um like the Hoa definitely like really amped up the damage on my uh Ranger. But I mean, I think you could almost get around it. It would have to be a really good rare item, but I think there's ways that potentially you could get around it. I don't know if that's specific. That would necessarily work for every build though. And again, I think as they add more and more items, that could potentially change. And I'm definitely playing the Huntress for sure, because they literally have like a lightning fury type of attack that you can build into. So I'm going to try and duplicate the Javazon with the Huntress, because it's kind of funny. One of the ascendancies is literally called Amazon. You could literally... No, I get what you're saying. I feel like, again, it's one of them things where I think they're eventually going to work around to the point where the builds won't be that limited, because they keep adding, like, changes to the game which could potentially get around that stuff. I mean, at full release, if that's still a problem, I would say that's legitimate. But I mean, until we're at that full release point, it might be one of them things where they already have an implementation in mind. It's just that it requires them to add certain things that they're not ready to add yet. You know what I mean? So it could potentially be that it gets addressed by the time we get to full release. Ooh, finally. A better, well, I found one yesterday. This one's just a little better. Right, and it might, like I said, it might end up being that certain things will change to where it becomes a little more viable. I mean, I get what you're saying. Like, it'd be like saying that like only one drop. Oh, the only way for a certain drop to happen is like in Diablo 2, if it like only drops off of Ubers, but you can't kill Ubers, so you can't get that drop. But I mean, well, walk that through a little bit. Say you're playing a build, well, kind of. Like you don't have a torch. You could still necessarily clear content. Would you consider torch to be gated? Some might think that. I mean, it's kind of in a lesser degree, because I mean, you can. There's no builds that necessarily need a torch, so it's a little. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know that they'll. I don't know that they'll ever modify that. That could be one that they might not. But I mean, there could be a way around. Like you could chance it. It's just super rare chance of it happening. That could be a workaround. Like you could get the base and try and chance it. It's just like a 0.0001% chance or something. I mean, that might be a solution. Right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that could be a workaround. Because the whole point is just having the chance to do it without having to kill a specific boss to do it.
I am overburdened.
But the mapping system changes were really cool. They went into that a little bit, and they've changed a lot of the mapping stuff. They've added a bunch of new maps. They've modified the boxes a little bit, the loot or the stronghold boxes. They did something on that. What else did they do? Yeah, we were just getting in that, Jerry. There was a lot, and they held back a lot. Like a lot of stuff. I feel like they talked about some of the new maps, but then they were like, "Here's 3 examples. There's 7. You can figure out the other 4." They didn't go into all the ascendancies. They just touched on a couple of them. Um, some of the new support gems were pretty crazy, and there's supposed to be 100 of them. There was a bunch. There was a bunch. And it wasn't a long dev talk. It was pretty short, considering. Yeah, no, Jerry, I was kind of blown away by that yesterday. I watched it live, and I was like, "Holy crap, man!" It was so much, and I feel like I mean I kind of like the fact that they don't tell you everything. There's going to be a lot of stuff that you won't know until you actually get into the game. They didn't reveal everything in the dev talk. They just hit on like some top level, and it was like, yeah, y'all can discover the rest when you get in. I thought that was pretty cool. I can't wait. I'm definitely going the Huntress out of the gate. The Huntress had a mount. I thought that was. It didn't look like it moved that much faster though. I think it was just you did some. You could do attacks off while utilizing the mount or something. Maybe it moved a little quicker. It didn't seem like it. Ah, that's a good point. I didn't think about that, Jerry. Maybe they set it up to be on death only. Well, I mean, I was kind of confused on that point, Jerry, because he did say that the number of portals was tied to the number of mods on the map. So maybe it's just like when you're doing the higher tier maps, you normally just run um, more mods on them to begin with, so then it kind of melds together. Because he did make a point of saying lower tier maps, but maybe that's just saying when you first get into the maps, you just don't have as many mods on it. Oh, and I did like when I never got to them, but like um, the pinnacle bosses, you don't lose XP on death though, and I never got to that point. So, but I can imagine that when you're trying to do the pinnacle bosses, you're pretty high level, so losing that XP to do a pinnacle boss was really painful. But now you don't actually lose XP on the pinnacles. All right, so we got. Oh, those are lightning resist. Do that. But yeah, I mean, and obviously there's still going to be things that people want to see changed, but I mean, just the fact that they addressed a lot of concerns that people had to begin with is, I mean, to me, is definitely a move in the right direction. It was cool. There was a lot of people excited about what's coming up. And they're putting all those changes, like you could either, it's an option to go into the reset. Because you don't, because all those changes go into like the base game. So you don't have to play the reset to take advantage of the changes. I think just overall, I think the update's like a net positive for them. It was so packed full of changes. It was kind of crazy.
I am overburdened. I can't carry anymore.
But I'm just debating though. I don't know if I want to do the reset. I might just play it without doing the reset. I might just do it on my base set of characters and start up a Huntress. did you did you change it out? I hadn't seen it. Good, to be fair, man, that coffee bean was kind of wonky to me. Coffee bean can. Oh, +1. Did you put in general? What's hitting me? What the hell? What's that? Did you rotate the card? Oh, that's just a bracket. Never mind. For a second there, it looked like the card was rotated, which I'd never seen before.
I can't carry anymore.
+3 this time.
I am overburdened.
Well, I finally got some 220s. They're not great, but it's a start. The stats are okay, kind of neat to have, but yeah, I wouldn't have minded having some resist on there or something. Even just some magic find would have been nice. Yeah, I know. I'm just saying they're like a good start. I mean, they're decent gloves. I would have liked to have popped some resist or something on it. Yeah, some leech. Then I could maybe move off of the insight merc into something else.
I can't carry anymore.
Of course, you know, when I do cows, I usually dump my merc, and my mana is actually okay. I don't have to pot that much. So yeah, a little bit of leech would have been really nice. The hell? Wow. It's like, I don't see where it was at. Yeah, apparently not, Jerry. He was using a damn coffee can to hold the damn GPU up. Artistic choice. That lightning be hitting hard. You happy with the results, Liam? Everything running good?
I can't carry anymore. am overburdened.
Full on gold. Go dump that.
I can't carry anymore.
Alright, we locked in. Jerry's locked in, man. Going to hit golf balls tomorrow.
I am overburdened.
Yeah. After the stream, man. Well, I got time. I could do a little stretching in the morning. We're going to play about 1 o'clock. Again, I'm more worried about my hands. It's kind of funny with my son. He when he finds something that he likes, he hits it so hard. I was probably the same way. Like he went with the boys one day. He didn't even own his own clubs. I don't know if he borrowed some. And next thing I know, he's texting me is like, "I love golf," and he's like, I feel like he's probably trying to play as much as he can. He sent me a text like he had bought his 4-year-old a set of plastic golf clubs. They were in the backyard chipping around and stuff. I'm like, man, he went full bore. Oh, I didn't mean to hit that. Wasn't thinking. I'm looking forward to it though.
Carry anymore.
It'd be nice to get out and start swinging the clubs again. I need to go after the stream. I hadn't even looked at my clubs to see what kind of shape they're in. They should be okay. I mean, I keep them stored in the garage. But yeah, I probably should go out there and dust them off and take a look at the grips. I won't be able to get them re-gripped before tomorrow, but
Thanks.
if I decide I'm going to start playing more, I definitely need to get my clubs re-gripped. Dude, kill him. I think that'd be better for my hands too if I got like the more oversized grips. Cause I feel like the standard thickness of the grips, I think that would hurt my hands more. I feel like maybe I'd be better off if I actually did go up and got like some oversized thicker grips. I think that would feel better on my hands. Liam, it's one of them things, man. It's you usually know when it's time for a change. You got just got to go with your gut sometimes. If it feels like things are just not going to push you in a good direction, it's better to put them feelers out early. I know you had said your buddy or your friend or somebody had like a company that you could potentially work for. I don't know. Sometimes it's just good to make a change. You feel re-energized, you know. There's nothing wrong with doing it. And if the like where you're at's putting you in kind of a bad headspace, all the more reason.
I can't carry anymore. I am overburdened.
Yeah, and having a stake in something. I don't know. Just being more invested in what you're doing outside of working for somebody else, you know, that's a pretty good incentive. It's like I watched my sister do it this last year. Um, they offered her partnership in the company she's at, and I mean she had to put like she had I think there's 12 owners, and she got like an equal share with everybody else, but she had to buy in. She had to put up money to do it. But I mean they're a fairly established company, so that's a little different. But I think like having that incentive to where you're actually financially tied to the company. Oh, well, we're not gonna finish this one.
I am overburdened.
We'll go do Diablo. But yeah, if you're feeling that way about where you're working, it's definitely time to look elsewhere. Been there, done that. How much damage does that actually do with the Sunder? Not much. Alright, those are lightning immune as well.
I am overburdened.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Yeah. No, I get that. I don't know, man. It just sounds to me like you're just trying to talk yourself into pulling that trigger. Here's the other thing too. Like making a change like that, if nothing else, you kind of get the reveal of like where you're at, what kind of value they put in you. If you just go, I'm done, I'm out of here. I mean, I wouldn't use that as like a bargaining chip. I mean, some people do. I always feel like if you tender a resignation and then they counter offer you to stay, if you take it, it's one of them things where even after you take it, you're still kind of half, 1 foot out the door type of thing. Like if I've never like taken a counter offer to stay. Like once I commit to taking another job, I take it. But if nothing else, you get kind of a idea of what value the company actually put into you. You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's just, it's. I don't think it's ever a good idea to use that as a bargaining chip to just get more money. Like I think if you commit to something like that, you should just follow through with it. But like I said, you do get kind of an idea of where you actually stood with the company that you're or the place you're leaving, type of thing. Yo, what's up, Bob? How you getting the government and give you $600 a week till you start a new job? Oh wait, I guess April's next month. We're almost into April. I didn't even think about that. We're already pretty close to April. Merc, what are you doing, man? Get down there.
I am overburdened.
Yeah, I know. I always wait till the last minute to do my taxes. Always have.
I am overburdened.
I always my stuff ends up being right around break even. I either pay a little bit or I get a little bit, so I just wait till right before. Is it all the way to October? I guess. Wait, what's that? May, June, July, August, September. They gave you 6 months for extension? I thought it was 3. I mean, I would probably do my taxes earlier if I knew I was getting like a big chunk. Like my son they get a lot of money back. they they get a lot of money back. Which I always tell them, it's
I
like,
am overburdened.
if you're getting a big chunk of money on as a tax return, you're kind of playing the system wrong. You need to adjust your withholding so that at tax time you break even. Like, there's two schools of thought to this. One school of thought is that people that get that money through the year can't necessarily save it or set it aside, so the government's holding it for them. Whereas if you're like really financially or fiscally responsible to where you put a lot into savings, you're better off so that you kind of break even at tax time. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Liam. Like, you're just if you try and move it to where you're more break even on tax filing, that money is better off in your hands than in the government's hands. Like, you could at least, if you're actually setting that money aside, you could get more interest off of it, and you get nothing if the government sends you a check on tax day. That's the fiscal argument. Most people don't. So
I am
it's
overburdened.
one of those easier said than done type things. Oh no, I get what you're saying in that regard. But like, if you have like the standard deductions type situation, and then you get a big chunk at the end of the uh, or during tax filing, like, some people's stuff is pretty straightforward. They use standard deductions, um, you know, child credits, that stuff. You know, it's pretty straightforward. You can mess with your withholding so that you're, you know, like, claim more dependents. Like, I don't, like, Canada, U.S., I'm sure the tax filing system is way different. Um, like, the more dependents you claim, the more money you keep in your check. So it's one of them situations where if you're getting a huge chunk on tax return, then up your dependents count on your whatever the form is now, I forget. And then you get more in your check every month or every payday, and you just kind of more break even on tax file. It's a game you could play if you know you're going to set that money aside. Like, you just in general put money aside to savings. Just little games you could play. Now, the more, like, on the front end, if you claim higher dependents, you get like zero. If you claim zero, that's the most tax amount you can take out of your check every year. And you could even add like an amount on that on top of the zero dependent amount. So if you increase it 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on, like, the more you keep in your check. Yeah, when you file, it's one of them games because it's hard to. There's probably calculators out there now. Back in the day when I had to mess with that stuff, you kind of had to play around with the numbers to, like. I'm willing to bet nowadays there's like some calculator out there on the internet that you could plug in numbers and it'll actually adjust and tell you how much to get to that break even point. I'm sure there's stuff out there to do that.
overburdened.
And honestly, I need to look into. Um, I don't know if my mother falls under some sort of dependent situation. I need to look into that. I probably need to go ahead and start making sure about that because she's been living with me for almost 2 years now. So I don't know how that works. I should probably be actually look into that.
I am overburdened.
Not even death can save you from me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There might be something to being having my mother, because I even have like power of attorney and stuff now. We've done all the paperwork, so she's. I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know if that's still classified as dependent or not. I'm gonna have to look into it. Yeah, Liam. That's why I have always done my own taxes. Hey, Dennis, what's up, buddy? That's one of them things my dad drilled into me like at really young. Because my dad he got an accounting degree. That's after he retired from the military. He went to school and got a degree in accounting. So he was an accountant. And he just like we got in depth on how to file your own taxes and stuff. And now again, like I mean, I think I've used TurboTax for the past 12, 15 years. And it's just a step by step, and they cover probably as much, if not maybe even more, than an accountant would. Like, I mean, there's so many services out there now. Like H&R Block even has just like their own online tax service now. There's multiple. There's so many. It takes me maybe an hour to walk through all of it and do the taxes. It might not even be that long. See you, Jerry. Jerry got a date with a hot Latina tonight. Of course, knowing Jerry, that's probably a thing of the past. He batching it up. Yeah, Jerry's the eternal bachelor. Oh no, man. Everything I see online, it sounds like a hot mess to be out in that world nowadays. There's no way. There's no way. I just At my age, I wouldn't even bother. Yeah, we got married pretty young. 21? Got married when I was 21.
I am overburdened.
Is that what he called Liam? He does a reset. I hear you, Tommy. My parents didn't get married till around 30. Around 30. Yeah, my dad was spending all that time in
I
Vietnam.
can't carry anymore.
Because it was one of them things where, like, my mother loves to tell the story of how my dad, they made him leave Okinawa. Because that was kind of like, the Special Forces, it wasn't like a 6-month deployment type or a year deployment type situation. It was, they were just in and out constantly. They had their base camps in Vietnam or sometimes not Vietnam. And they would go back and forth between base camp and Okinawa. And my dad was there for so long that they made him go back to the States. I think he had been there at that point like 5 years. And they told him he had to leave. He could not stay there any longer. And they weren't married at the time, so he had to go back to the States. Then he had to go to D.C. and get some special permission to come back to Okinawa just to get married. But yeah, he was there for
I can't carry anymore.
he was there for 5 years. But again, it's not like you're like it was. I don't know how they counted it. Like normally Vietnam was. I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong. It was just a year deployment, right, Tommy? And then you could come back home. That was kind of standard for the grunts. Yeah. And at that point, you were done.
I can't carry anymore.
It's not ethereal though. Bob, you can do all kind of juggling, man. Holy jeez. Hey, man, as long as you're happy with how it all works out, and kudos to you, man.
I can't carry anymore.
Yeah, that is nice, isn't it? I don't know. It's kind of funny how many people actually like work that. I guess is it flexible? Like just don't do like a standard work schedule. Like the guy I hired to do all my stuff in Fayetteville for my mother's house to do all the work. He like he does like a split thing where during the winter months he contracts for the government, but like in the summer, spring, fall, summer, he runs his own business. But like when that business kind of slow in the winter, then he does contract work for the government.
I can't carry anymore. I am overburdened.
I need a griffin. Let's have a griffin drop. Well, the point being is like, you know, there's a lot of people that actually work not your standard like 9 to 5, you know, 20 like 52 weeks a year. There's a lot of people that work like really different schedules.
I can't carry anymore.
I mean, that's how it is. Like, as long as you can make ends meet, man, you know. Yeah, that's always nice. That's like cars to me. Buying cars to me is the most painful thing in the world. I hate making car payments. So when I get one, I drive it till the wheels fall off. Fire, fire whiskey. What is that like Fireball or is that something different? No, that's a Fireball thing, wasn't it? I thought I saw something the other day about that. I think it's Fireball, Tommy. Yeah, I think it was Fireball. Seems like I saw some commercial, not commercial, but like it might have just been a meme. I don't remember what it was. I saw something about that like this past week.
Not even death can save you from me.
Yeah, for sure. I think we're talking about the same thing. I think it was Fireball. Which, to be fair, I've never had it, but from what I've seen, Fireball is really popular. You always see people taking shots of it. What is my magic find? It's only 136. What can I do? It's not a whole lot. I took the chances off. That dropped it by 30 some. I got a gold wrap. I don't know if I want to switch that out though. I got a Nagel. I could up the Nagel. I need War Travs. That's what I need. I'm using Telling right now. That's the best amulet I've found. We could go slower. Well, eventually we probably... There's no shot I get all the drops for an Enigma. Yeah. The little, yeah, exactly, Tommy. I should get one time just to try it. I don't think it's like 80 proof though. I mean, they call it whiskey, but I don't think it's that strong. Because I see people take shots of it like it's nothing. Dennis, man, if you saw, did you see the update stuff? It's gonna be crazy. You can actually make a Javazon.
I can't carry anymore.
They're not gonna let me buy. They're just gonna block me. But yeah, Dennis, I'm gonna be making that out the gate. No, dude, I saw one skill mechanic where it was literally throwing lightning javelins. I mean, you can make it complicated, but I don't think you necessarily have to, dude. Dude, one of the ascendancies is literally called Amazon. Yeah, they did. They added 5 ascendancies. They only showcased like 2 of them. One was the Merc, one was like the Barb. I really want to find a T-Gods for this guy.
I am overburdened.
Was it a rare one, Bob? Yeah, you said rare. I probably should check the damn barb helmets more.
I am overburdened. I am overburdened.
See, that kind of stuff bugs me. I feel like when I was talking about the server stuff, saw where he was way back here, but he was hitting stuff way up here. They have really cheapened out on these servers. Hit it. Jesus. Oh, martial arts.
I can't carry anymore.
Dang, my son is busy today. Oh wait, that wasn't him. Yeah, Dennis, there was just so much in that. Do you watch the whole thing?
I am overburdened.
The question really is, are you going to reset or are you going to keep on playing? Like on the base account. I don't know if I'm going to do the reset. I think I'm just going to roll a huntress and just stay on my base account.
Even death can save you from me.
Man, we ain't getting squat for drops today. Yeah, that part I was like, man, that's kind of whatever to me. It's just more stuff to fight. It's just like more encounters that there's like different encounters that they're trying to add. I mean, it was definitely different, and I think there's like some sort of loot progression through them or something, if I remember correctly. It was. I mean, you got to try something, right? See if it's going to work. I mean, at least they're putting out new ideas and
I
concepts and
can't
trying them
carry
out.
anymore.
I mean, and if it turns out that it's kind of a bust, they'll probably take it out. I'd imagine.
I can't carry anymore.
Thanks.
I mean, it might be just stupid, but I mean, they're known that like if something they try something new and it just doesn't resonate with the player base, they usually just take it out. Tomac, what's up, brother? Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get a taste of that for sure until get full game release. I don't think they're gonna even reveal anything till closer till full game time, which is fine. Next Friday. Oh, the original early access launch. First beginning of December, wasn't it? I want to say it was first week of December. Oh my god.
I am overburdened.
Yeah, yeah. It's just a one-time deal, man. Like we get all the
I
stuff
can't
and the
carry
full
anymore.
release, everybody gets. But all the early access is all stuff that we keep or we gain access to. One of my old high school buddies just texted me. So there was three guys well, there was three of us. There was two other guys that I hung out in high school. We were always together, right? And like after high school, we all obviously went different directions. But
I am
and I'm
overburdened.
still in touch with them. But apparently, one of them is becoming kind of like a wild conspiracy guy, and I would have never guessed it of him. He's always been like a numbers guy, a math guy. He's a civil engineer, has worked for the government for decades at this point. And the other friend of mine just texted me and said that he he asked me like a weird. He was like, "Do you believe we actually landed on the moon?" I was like, "All right, where's this going?" And he just told me that the other friend was like becoming kind of
I
a
am
little wild on
overburdened.
his conspiracy theories. He's going down the road of we didn't actually land on the moon and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, where's this coming from? I asked him to ask him if he believed the Earth was flat too. I was like, oh my God, man, what is happening to you? Apparently, he thinks we do, man. He's just one step away from the flat Earth stuff. One step. It's like moon landing, Twin Towers, flat Earth. This is blowing my mind right now. He was always the science guy. Speaking of which, I haven't seen a declone walk yet. What is happening? I've been playing a lot. I don't understand why I haven't seen a declone. Are they only on the Asia servers now?
I am overburdened. I can't carry
Some magies.
anymore.
Don't need them. They're all they're just. Are we just not getting any declone walks anywhere else? I don't know about that, Dennis.
I can't carry anymore. I can't carry anymore.
See, because a lot of this conspiracy stuff, like, I don't know what people were expecting to be released when they, they did the big hype about the JFK files, right?
I can't carry anymore.
I don't know what actually anybody was expecting to see coming out of these JFK files. Yeah, I think they actually expected some big reveal or something. I don't. The JFK file release stuff was exactly how I thought it was going to go. There was just not going to be any new information. Because if you want to go down that conspiracy road, if they were hiding something, the CIA was involved, do you think they would have released it in the document dump? Yeah, dude, you talking about the 10-cent, what do you call it? They're doing something with 10 cent. my buddy is like losing his mind right now. The one that's like has just told me that the other friend is saying this stuff. He is like his. He's not believing what he's hearing right now. Yep, it's time to get off the internet for a little bit. God almighty. That's blowing my mind right now. No, I mean, it wouldn't work that way. Like, being part of Core Engineers, completely different department. There's just a lot, and to be fair, like, the top of these, like, if you look at like how the conspiracy theory stuff tends to propagate through the internet, like, there's guys on there on the like YouTube that are really persuasive. They're really persuasive, but the problem is you only see it, they only give you their side of it, or what they see. And what happens a lot of times is, if you actually I watch a lot of debates, and if you watch the debates between, say, a flat earther and an actual astrophysicist, the argument obviously completely falls apart. But if you just listen to the person say what they believe, and then they give their little hypothesis, they can be convincing. They can, 100%. But where the arguments tend to fall apart is when you do like an actual debate between like the top guy on like the conspiracy side and, say, an astrophysicist. When you watch those debates, then you see the arguments come apart. And that tend to be how it works out. But if you just, like, if you go down like a rabbit hole of, like, say, the moon landing stuff, if you go down that rabbit hole, you will find a lot of information that's persuasive. You will. But what happens a lot of times is their arguments are pretty flawed, but the way they put it forward can be convincing if you don't know a lot about the subject matter. It's kind of, because I also did it with the 9/11 people. Like, I just watched a lot of, you know, if you watch, I watched a lot of one side just to see where the arguments were. But then if you watch, like, a lot of times people put out counter arguments to like original video type stuff, and if you go back and forth, you'll see where a lot of the points get refuted. I mean, debunk it. It happened. I don't remember off the top of my head, but I did watch that, and there is explanations for it, and they legitimately make sense. Because again, like, usually somebody that says it wouldn't, that it you know, it couldn't happen the way it happened, they usually present only the facts that they find that would support their line, or their line of thinking, but they don't put out the counterfactuals to refute the points. They just put out the ones that support their point. I mean, it's like anything else. You have to look at every angle or every side of it to get probably the full story. And if you come at it looking at it from the only one point of view, you'll probably end up with that, agreeing with that one point of view. You have to, and it takes a lot of time. You actually have to spend a lot of time looking at the material to kind of understand it. What do you mean, whose physicist are we talking about?
I can't carry anymore.
Thanks.
I can't carry anymore.
Well, that's just it. There are no, like, if you look at the flat Earth stuff, there are no scientists on that side of it. There are people that have read or studied a lot of stuff, but they're not like scientists. There's not, you will not find an astrophysicist that believes in flat Earth. You just not. Difficult to make this decision on who you believe. It's one of them things where, what's the word? There's a term for it. It's not cognitive dissonance. It's, I forget. But there's a bias that a lot of people go into. Not even real. A lot of people approach topics with a bias already in their head to one way or another. And I probably do the same thing. Well, I know I do the same thing. So it's going to be one of them things in how you go into whatever subject matter you're looking at, where your bias might be. Because here's where I land on the whole thing, just overall in general. To pull off a conspiracy like that requires a lot of people, and it is impossible to keep a lot of people 100% quiet. It's impossible. When you start getting into the whole planted charges in a building, the access involved to do that, how many people get involved, it's impossible to keep that many people silent. That's where I usually approach that sort of thing from. It's like, it's said, and you can extend it out to like the moon landing stuff, right? There was thousands of people involved at NASA to make that happen. To keep that many people quiet is impossible. If it was faked, it's just, there's too many people involved to keep that a secret. Now, like again, and as you know, as you shrink a group of people, then it becomes more, more viable that potentially something happened, something could be pulled off if you only have like a dozen people involved. You could potentially keep a dozen people quiet. But when you get beyond that, it's so hard for somebody to not come out way later and say that I was involved in this and this is how it went down. And the manpower it would take to make something like that happen, it's to me, it's too much. It's impossible to keep that many people secretive. And that's kind of how I fall in with like a lot of the conspiracy theory stuff. It's just one of them things where I look at first how many people would have to be involved to make it happen, and then work my way from there. I don't believe that many people, if any, have actually spoken up. Because the 60s, granted, that's what? It's 60 years ago now. When was the actual moon landing? 67? What year was the moon landing? '69. So, say you're working for NASA at that point, 25 to 30, you'd be in your 80s to 90s. But that's now if they came up. So that would have been between now and then that people would have come forward to refute it. Oh, that guy's lightning immune. It's 69. There's so much. Tomac's just trying to stir the pot now.
I can't carry anymore.
Oh, he's just constantly pulling them out. And I'll just leave it at this. There's a lot of people that make a lot of money off of circulating the conspiracy theories. Well, see, you say that, Dennis, but then the question becomes, where'd you get that information from? That's always going to be my initial response. Like, I haven't looked at it, so I can't answer either way on it. But my first question would be, where did you get that information from?
I can't carry anymore.
Well, I mean, and that's the crux of the argument, right, Dennis? To me, I've gotten to the point where if anybody tells me anything, it could be my best friend, and if it sounds kind of crazy, he's gonna have to show me where he got it from. Because there's so much stuff out there that I gotta be honest. I don't know if it'd be tough to verify a whole lot of stuff these days. It would be. I'd almost have to see the science myself to almost believe anything over just taking like an expert's word on it. Wasn't there a movie about this the Smithsonian stuff? Was that the Greatest Treasure or whatever it was? National Treasure? Is that what it was called?
Thanks.
Oh man, this crazy place we live in. Well, no, what's the meme? It's a crazy world we live in. It is. No, I get that angle for sure, Dennis. That, you know, I think that would be a better argument than a lot that I've heard. But I mean, back it up one step. Did we put people into space?
Overburdened.
Because that could be the same argument, right? The fact that we actually were able to launch astronauts into space would be the same argument. It's just that the moon argument would be that we just launched them farther.
Overburdened. I can't carry anymore. I am overburdened.
And that's like ground zero, Tomac. It kind of is. Of course, you know, a lot of these have been circulating for a long time. I mean, the moon landing hoax one has been around for since it happened.
I am overburdened.
that one's been there. That's probably the original. Well, I don't know. The flat Earth one might be actually predate that. Well, it would have to because that was original thought, right, before Columbus, that the Earth was flat.
I can't carry.
So yeah, that one's the oldest one. I don't think it was necessarily that complicated, Tommy. I mean, there's physics involved, obviously. But to say that there was like a million adjustments AI would struggle with, nah, I don't believe that for a second.
I can't carry anymore.
It's literally just numbers. I get it, Dennis. I mean, it's not an unhealthy thing to have questions. But here's the thing. If you dig, you could probably find an answer to a lot of those. I mean, I don't think it's necessarily going to be surface level research, but usually the answers are there.
What do you need?
Then it's it's going to incumbent on you to decide if you believe the source or not. That's what it boils down to. What sources do you believe? Oh, wait, we got Mephisto. Do I want to do Mephisto? Running through Act 2 is so painful. But we have gotten some great drops off of Uber Mephisto. This is the rough part. Yeah, these guys are lightning immune.
I am overburdened.
Ooh. Terrorized dolls is not exactly anything I want to handle. Or deal with. See, and that's kind of the sad part, Dennis, if you think about it. Like something like incredible and wondrous could happen now, and because of like the way like conspiracy theories have propagated, it takes away that belief of what can be done, and it's kind of a sad thing. I kind of remember that Area 51 thing. Yeah, CGI is a problem with some of that stuff. I mean, not all, but in certain situations, CGI is a big problem. And AI just in general. But I don't know. I think overall, AI can be a net positive. I mean, it's going to be used for some nefarious stuff for sure. But I think overall, it can be a net positive. Now, if they really wanted to get the conspiracy theory stuff going, is to actually open up Area 51. That would be wild. There's so much mystique behind what's actually in Area 51. If they were actually to break that loose and just let people, not necessarily tour it, but like open it up to media and let them go in, that would actually be wild. That would be the viewing event of the century. I'd watch it 100%. Dennis, that one I kind of wonder about, because there is a lot of attention drawn to it from, like, Congress, which is, you don't see Congress, like, really diving into any of the flat Earth, 9/11, any of that stuff. But they're actually doing the UFO stuff, right? So it makes you kind of wonder. Dave, what's up, buddy? Juan, I know somebody that just came back from Antarctica. But to be fair, that is kind of a thing, right? Like, if the flat earthers are so strong on, what they believe about the earth, why don't they just go to either of the poles? That to me would be the simplest end to the argument. I would think. Wow, Merc got murked. Let's go the other way. Yeah, I get that, Tommy. Well, Dennis, that's kind of the argument, right? Well, there's so many different flat Earth theories.
You made it back on.
I swear I saw one where basically we live in a snow globe and what we see above is like a hologram. I've seen some wild ones. Yeah, David, dude, it's going to be pretty crazy. I can't wait. Of course, it's just next week. It's next Friday. I'm going to make a Javazon.
Thanks.
Well, we're soaking up a lot of potions to do this. I should just bypass them. Well, Dennis, to be fair, a lot of the flat Earth theory revolves around ignoring some pretty specific things. Well, Juan, to be fair, there's a lot of areas, not just Antarctica, that are that way. A lot of areas. Did I get the... Yeah.
Greetings.
Man, we're going in deep on these conversations today, aren't we? We're all over the map. we're hitting on everything today, except our typical food conversations. Oh, man, it's awesome. Oh, I forgot to dump. No, I'll skip that for now. We'll get into more planting potatoes in my backyard before we'll get into that one. A lazy boy. I wonder if that would be... That's an interesting thought. Like, I have my lazy boy that I watch TV in. I have... And I love that chair. Why do we not have those for desk chairs? Why do we have to get a separate desk chair? Maybe it's time to move that bad boy upstairs. Wow, that's a lot of stuff. Whoa, whoa, dude, whoa. Let my Merc deal with some of that. I don't think so. I think you have to purchase per platform right now, Dennis. I'm pretty sure. I don't think they have a linking system in it right now. I'm not 100% on that, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. Dog, what's up, brother? Yeah, I don't think it's a thing right now, Dennis, but I have a feeling they're linking platforms probably when they do full release. Firmament? I've never heard that one. So you think Earth's center of the world or the universe? I don't know about that one, dude. Is that more of a religious based argument? I'm just curious. Because I actually hadn't heard the term. What'd you say? Firmament? I haven't heard that term before. Dog, are you going to be playing in Verdansk next week? Okay, I thought it might be. I had never heard that term before. Yeah, dog, I'm curious to see where they take it. I've heard they're rolling some stuff back, so I'm curious what they're gonna do. Well, see, Dennis, here's like I got into this conversation with some friends of mine not too long ago, actually, and it made me approach things a little different because, to be fair, I'm not a very religious person, and at the time when we were talking about it, like the Big Bang Theory made sense to me to a degree. But then, like, the argument was presented to me. But then there's always what happened before that. Like, before the Big Bang, what happened before that? And then it's always like, the reference is always backwards. Like, well, then, if you have an argument for that, then it's like, well, what happened before that? So it leads more to a creationist argument. And I had to go, that's actually a good argument. So it makes me look at things a little different, put it that way. It was actually one of the better arguments that I've heard, because it is going to be the case, like, you know, at some point there has to be a beginning, right? I mean, it just has to be. Roberto, what's up, brother? Man, we're covering the bases today. we were covering all the bases today. Yeah, exactly, Liam. That was my point. Like, that's what made me go, okay, that's a good argument. Drink more beer. That's happening tonight. Good frame of reference, Liam. Yeah, I still haven't touched the 212 packs of Orion that I got sitting there. I'll probably have to get into them tonight.
I am overburdened.
It's kind of funny because, like, first rule of sales when I first got into sales, when I worked in the electrical industry, never talk about politics or religion.
I can't carry anymore.
That's like the #1 rule of sales. Roberto, I want to say I'd gotten up to 60-some%. We'll take a look. I'll take a look after this run. I'll pull it up and we'll take a look. Well, Juan, that's my whole point. That's the argument, right? You got to always presuppose that what was before that, because that's not a starting point. That's like a point on a line. Well, then there has to be something before that, right? 70? Wow, that's actually really good. We'll take a look. I want to say I'm not that high. I don't think I'd hit 70 yet.
I can't carry anymore.
And I gotta be honest, I haven't heard a decent counter argument to that point. I haven't. Dog, I don't know yet. Do you happen to know off the top of your head what time it's dropping on the 2nd? It's supposed to be the 2nd, which is next Wednesday. Did they announce a time? Because if it's during the day, I might. Usually it's like the night before, isn't it? Isn't it like midnight usually when stuff
I
drops?
am overburdened.
I have a decent amount of the higher runes, Roberto. I haven't found Jaw or higher for sure. Like I found everything below Jaw, so I'm missing the top 4. 4? No, 3. Jaw, Chom, Zod. Is that the right?
I can't carry anymore.
That's the probably the best answer, Dennis. It's just some things are just not going to be knowable. That's why faith is always part of the argument. Religious part of it is just you have to just take some things on face value. But if you actually approach the conversation even from like a more analytical scientific view, you then run into that problem where it's, well, what happened before this happened? If the Big Bang happened, what happened before that? That becomes the crux of the argument. It has to lead back to something.
My brothers have escaped you.
We're just going to run the gamut, Dennis. Oh, that's just funny. Right, yeah, Liam, I would agree with that. All right, let's hold on. I'm going to boot up. Let's switch to offline. I'm going to boot up my Holy Grail. All right, let's see if it reads properly. No, Roberto, I'm at 82%. I didn't think I was that high. I'm at 82 on my Grail. Yeah, dude, I didn't think I was nowhere near that high. To be perfectly honest, man. I thought I was like maybe between 60 and 70. That's crazy. So let's look at the runes. I think I was right about the runes. Yeah, see, I haven't gotten a burr either. So top 4 I haven't found. And then like elites is where, like, I've filled in all, like, well, I got a couple here, but like normal and exceptionals, like I've just about cleaned all these up. Like we're here on the elites, which is kind of crazy if you think about it, because like these 3 I've gotten many times, but I'm doing it as specifically for just when I started this single player. So technically it's just Tyraels I'd be missing here if I looked at across my history of playing. No D-Web. Like helmets, I've never found Crown of Ages ever. Giant Skull I have found. Nightwings I have found. Veil of Steel I have found. I've found all but Crown here. Valkwing I've found many times. Circlets, found both of these. I just found steel rends on this current character. Dungos I've found a million times. Snow Clash, I've found all the belts. Marrows, Shadow Dancers, I've found both of those. But again, not with this single player. Storm Shield, Medusas, yeah, I've found all those. So unique other, like I just found a Wisp Projector. I've found all of those. I've gotten a torch. I don't know if I've actually ever found all the different facet setups. I probably did, but wasn't keeping track. What were you asking about? D-Web? Like D-Web I haven't found here. Like here's D-Web. But I've found like 2 on single player. Or I mean on playing my regular account. No, I'm still missing a handful of TC3. Like Gray Form and Blink Bat, missing both of those. Lenmo, I haven't found. Pelta Lunata. But like I've found these in my history of playing. I just haven't found them on the single player. Like most of those. And the same with the weapons. I think the Gnasher's the only one I'm missing. Oh, no. Nail Striker. I haven't found the Scepter. Baneash? I may have never found that one. Dennis is trolling now. The Patriarch I've definitely found before, but just not on the single player. That's, dude, I gotta be honest, man. I didn't think I was this high on the single player. That's actually kind of crazy. And I haven't gone anywhere near the torch though. Like I don't even know if I have all the keys to run a torch yet. But I think I have the characters to do. What do I have? I got a 91 Zon. I can probably do Ubers with that, maybe. I've done Ubers with a Barb before. I could probably do it with the Barb. With the unlimited respecs, I could spec into a Barb build to do Ubers easy enough. I mean, and I got so much gear. It's kind of crazy. So, I mean, it'd be a matter of just farming keys. Oh, wait, no, I have the Assassin. I forgot. I have my Assassin. So, yeah, I could do Ubers. What's my Assassin setup? Move some gear around. I got dual mosaics. Yeah, I could do Ubers pretty easy. Yeah, I'm sure I got all the pieces to do Ubers. Probably just need to farm keys. But like these are all my mules. Because I kept one of everything just so the tracker could keep up with what I have. So those 82% is like I have each of those pieces in my inventory. So yeah, actually, like I said, that's way further than I thought I was. I didn't think I'd gotten that far, Roberto. In fact, when you said 73, I thought maybe you'd caught up with me. It's kind of funny.
Good day.
It's slow, like that last, that you're into the slow grind part now. That's when it really starts getting slow. Those drops, fewer and fewer, farther between. It takes a while to scratch something off that list. Yeah, next week's going to be kind of crazy. We do have the Warzone drop, and we'll be playing that. I don't know if I'll stream it. I might. I might stream the first day. Dude, yeah, Tyraels is just, it's crazy to not have that drop. Friday's the PoE stuff. There's going to be a lot going on next week. I'm still doing the Marvel grind, but I'm kind of hard stuck in gold. I gotta be honest, I don't think I'll ever get higher than gold. It's fun though. I still enjoy Marvel.
I am overburdened.
Amazon can get pretty vocal when she's standing in fire, huh? Or just getting hit in general. Yeah, that's definitely not a conspiracy. That's fact. And if it happens to drop while I'm playing this character, I'm counting it towards my grail. That one's going to just have to count towards the grail regardless of where it drops.
Thanks.
Alright, we're just going to have to run past these dudes. They hit too hard. Yeah, right. I hear you, man. Did I miss a spot? No, no. Oh, bad. Just keep running. Unless they block the doorway. Oh, come on. Where's my merc?
Thanks.
There it goes. I need to get down
I
there.
am overburdened.
Whoa, whoa. How am I stuck in the middle of this? Alright, I don't even know how I got in the middle of these dudes. There we go. Use up all my potions, just get out of there. Corn. I gotta be honest, dude. I've never been a fan of corn. I haven't. I've never been a fan.
I am overburdened.
What would corn is corn considered classified like new metal? I don't know that much about their music. I just never liked the sound of what I heard. But it was about in the same time frame when like new metal was like a big thing. Shut up, Liam. Stop chasing, dude. Come back.
You're too late.
Okay, we know that Grand Charm is cubable. That just dropped off of Terrazone Mephisto. that's funny, Dennis. Who would y'all bring back? Like, if you look at like deceased performers, who would y'all bring back to play for you? And this will probably like be relevant based off of a person's age for sure. For me, it'd probably be Chris Cornell. Yeah, well, Dennis, same thing, right? 100%, dude. That guy was such a generational talent as far as singer. It's crazy.
Greetings.
What would be another one? Stevie Ray Vaughan. Stevie Ray Vaughan too. That's actually tough. Like I think like the kind of the more generic answers you'd probably hear would be like Jimi Hendrix like that though. I don't know. Stop, Dennis. I've heard those too. But I don't know. And honestly, for me personally, it'd be tough. I think Cornell still takes the edge on that one. We ain't judging by looks, man. But come on, Tommy, you got to give Stevie Ray his due. That dude was a phenom. That dude was a phenom. I love, even like that, I still like every once in a while I look back at some of his old stuff just to watch him play. I just wish there was more of it. Oh, no. One more. Oh, we just been here. I didn't reset. But that's one of those that I would just love to have seen live. Like, I never saw Soundgarden live. But even like when he often and started doing his solo stuff, like his acoustic sets and stuff, dude, it was so good. Oh, come on. What are we doing? He was definitely a tortured soul, though, Dennis.
Greetings.
No, get out of the way. Of course, he stands right in the doorway.
I can't carry anymore.
I mean, Jimmy would probably make top 5. Like, he predates me a little bit as far as musical tastes, but I mean, he was definitely a phenomenal just musician, songwriter. I mean, so I mean, you probably would have to put him on the list, but it's almost cliche-ish to say that, you know. Liam, what are you on about? Maybe. I don't think so. Oh, yeah, Liam, you just I'm just not catching on today. Now that you say that. Now that you've said it, yeah, I hear it. Well, we're out of the terror zone, but we'll see. We'll see what meth drops. I'm this far in it already, so might as well see. Where's my merc at? There he is. Alright, this is it. But yeah, for me, for sure, like Chris Cornell's is just, I don't know, just something about his voice, man. It's just, it's crazy. Oh shoot, I didn't even realize they were in here. Oh shoot. About to get trapped. Emilio? What you talking about? The only Emilio's coming to mind is Estevez. I'm sure that's not who you're talking about. Oh. No, mine is Alhazir. Never get Emilio.
My brothers have escaped you.
Wait, what? That wasn't even Terror Zone. He just one-shot me. Alright. Game's just messing with me now. That is pretty funny, Liam. That wasn't even a Terror Zone Mephisto. What the hell?
Good day.
Maybe my health was all the way down. I just wasn't paying attention. I was smoking him. I didn't even think it was a problem. That was kind of crazy, actually. Now I'm gonna have to slow run through all the crap to get to my. Yeah, this is painful. Get away. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Oh, shoot. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Don't think I'll die, but probably should throw that. He better drop me something good now. Holy crap. Look, he was literally one hit. That was dumb. Not sure what that was all about. Hell, Liam. Alright, boys, I'm gonna go eat. Interesting conversation today for sure. I think we covered all the topics. Except food, shockingly. But I'm gonna go eat some food. I'll catch y'all later.